Hi friends, I have seen some folks do this on their channels and I'm kind of interested in doing it for myself. People do kind of like the end of year TBR, what they want to read for the rest of 2024. And I think I'm going to do that. So at the time of filming this, we have 2 months and a week, I think. I typically have 2 weeks off for the holidays, and I usually get a lot of reading done then. So that's something to think about for myself. I know November is nonfiction November. I'm not going to overload myself with nonfiction reads because that might put me in a slump. I need enough variety. I also know I've got a buddy read in November with my friend Maria. I think I'm going to try and find a couple other buddy reads to do. And so this isn't going to be my whole TBR for the rest of the year, but it's going to be close. I also have 4 of my 12 and 24 books that I need to either read or unhaul. So I'm going to use my TBR jar for these 10. That would be about 1 a week, but like I said, I'm going to have more time off. Things get kind of slow at work in December. So we'll see. I may take Thanksgiving week off too, so who knows? I'll have plenty of reading time is what I'm saying. So my goals in 2024 was to read 100 books, which I've done. I am right at 100. Last year, according to Goodreads, I read like 140 books. I set a goal of 100 books every year because that's pretty average for me. And with this big of a TBR, I need to be reading 100 books a year or get rid of some more books, which I'm not going to do, right? So I've reached that. My next goal was read 75% that I already owned. That's compared to buying new books in the library. And I'm at that. I haven't done the actual calculations, but I'm close on that. My next goal was to read 1 book of the month book, which mine are down here. I don't know if you can see them or not. There's my book of the month collection down there. I have done that. I would like to read at least 1 more book of the month to reach their challenge goal. I've read 14 of 15 that count for that goal. And then you get, I don't know, you get a prize. I've never actually finished the challenge, so this year I will. Read my 12 and 24 list or unhaul, and we'll talk about those. I've got 4 left. Write reviews on Goodreads or elsewhere for 50% of books. I have to check on that. I've done a lot better with writing reviews for books, but I'm not positive. Number 6 was have fun. I have had so much fun, especially starting my own channel. And when I look back, can I just say I started my channel in February and that was my worst reading month. That's really interesting. But I read some good books. I had 4 4-stars in February. So yeah, those are my goals. I'm pretty good on those. So yeah, I think my last one I will do is to do a TBR jar to pick 10 books, and I would like those to be off my shelves. That's kind of, and to help me finish those couple of goals that I mentioned. So let's stop chatting and get into the TBR jar. I haven't touched the TBR jar since the last time I used it with y'all, so let's see. All right, so this says dual timeline. So I bet one of these is dual timeline. So this is one of my 12 and 24 books, and this is a dual timeline. 1 year is 1976, and then 20 years later, so in the 90s. This is Jennifer Haig, The Condition. This is about a family whose daughter is born with a rare genetic condition, and then it's like 20 years later, and kind of how everybody in the family has dealt with that diagnosis. So we'll do this one for dual timeline. All right. Big Like Mabel, my dog. Big Like Mabel. So big book. Mabel's asleep right now. A big book. Yeah. So we'll go with this one I bought this year and would like to read it. This is Wellness by Nathan Hill. So it's about a couple who meets in college in the 90s, and they get married, have kids, and then we're looking at 20 years later. That was the other book too. They're struggling to recognize each other. They know the no longer youthful dreamers are forced to face their demons, from unfulfilled career ambitions to painful childhood memories of their own dysfunctional families. Yeah, and I think there's some kind of wellness app or company that one of them works in. The little bits that I've heard of, I know this was pretty popular last year, maybe. I can't remember when, but enough to have the paperback come out, and that's what I was waiting for. All right, so we've got two. Let's get a third one. Number 3 is Shelf 3, Book 9. I forgot I had put these in here. So Shelf 3, Book 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is Secrets of a Charmed Life by Susan Meisner. I don't think I've read this author before. Present-day Oxford, England, young American scholar Kendra Van Zandt, eager to pursue her vision of a perfect life, interviews Isabel McFarland just when the elderly woman is ready to give up secrets about the war she has kept for decades, beginning with who she really is. What Kendra receives from Isabel is both a gift and a burden, one that will test her convictions and her heart. So present day, and then also the 1940s. So it's a World War II historical fiction. I'm sure that I bought this because some of my friends on booktube that love historical fiction. But like I said, I want a variety, so that's gonna work. All right. Pick a Claire Fuller. So I'll link below. I talked about Claire Fuller in a recent book tag I did. Introduce me to an author that you like. And then I mentioned I have 2 of hers left to read. And I think I'm going to choose the one that, where is it? Fuller. This is about a young girl, Peggy, who her dad is kind of a survivalist, and he moves them from London to some remote area in the woods, and she thinks that she lost her mom in some way, and she finds out that's maybe not the truth. So that's the Claire Fuller book I will try to read, hopefully read. I did really good in October with the TBR. I think it was because of just decision fatigue, honestly. All right, what's the next one? Hopefully this video won't be too long. Random number generator. All right, let me get my tablet. We're gonna make this easy on me. I know, because I may do this from my nonfiction shelf. That's why I have a glare on my face, is because I have this right here. So let's just do 1 to 100. So we're gonna have a random number generator. We're gonna do 1 to 100, because I know I have at least 100 nonfiction and fiction books to pick from. So let's do it that way. All right, so it says, can you see? 17. All right, so I thought I'd bring you with me. This is some of my nonfiction. Some of this I've read. So we're gonna start, should we start here? Should we start back there? I don't know. All right, so we'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Pull this one out. Oh, can we do it? Oh, don't all fall. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, so for the random number generator, I got number 17, and I went out to my nonfiction, which I just showed you, and I got Prognosis, a memoir of my brain by Sarah Vallance. She is thrown from a horse and suffers a jarring blow to the head. She believes she's walked away unscathed. The next morning, things take a sharp turn as she's led from work to the emergency room. By the end of the week, a neurologist delivers a devastating prognosis. Sarah suffered a traumatic brain injury that has caused her IQ to plummet with no hope of recovery. Her brain has irrevocably changed. Afraid of judgment and deemed no longer fit for work, Sarah isolates herself from the outside world. She spends months at home with her dogs as her only source of companionship, battling a personality she no longer recognizes. Her shock and rage over losing simple functions she's taken for granted. Her life is consumed by fear and shame until a chance encounter gives Sarah hope that her brain can heal. Over the years, I've worked with a number of people who have had traumatic brain injuries, and I think those of us who have never experienced it take for granted how easily a traumatic brain injury can happen. So I'm very interested in this. Obviously, I've had it on my shelves for a while. I wanted to see, it came out in 2019. So we'll read that one. And it's a pretty cover. Okay, this is shaping up. So we've done 5. We need to do 5 more. Okay. This says weather in the title. I know what I'm going to do for this one. Yep, we're going to do it. This was a gift from Krista at Books and Jams. This is The Frozen River by Aria Lahan. Frozen weather, that counts, right? I will probably read this in December. It's a chunky book. Frozen. Yeah, let's do that. This is about a midwife and healer who's called in to check out a body that was found frozen in the river. And things happen after that. So I'm excited to put that on there. Okay. Let's see. Pick a thriller. I'm reading a lot of thrillers right now. Okay, so I have had Dean Koontz on my shelves for a while. I've read The Darkest Evening of the Year, and I think I remember liking it. I don't know. I've kept them on my list on my shelves because I remember having a good experience when reading this, but I honestly don't really remember the facts. I remember some of it, but not enough. So I've had that on my shelves. And then I also got The Other Emily. And this, just the beginning part says, if she never died, where has she been? If she lives again, what is she? So a decade ago, Emily vanished after her car broke down on a California highway. She was presumed to be one of serial killer Ronnie Lee Jessup's victims, whose remains were never found. Writer David Thorne still hasn't recovered from losing the love of his life or from the guilt of not being there to save her. Since then, he's sought closure any way he can. He even visits regularly with Jessup in prison, desperate for answers about Emily's final hours, so he may finally lay her body to rest. Then David meets Madison Sutton, beguiling, playful, and keenly aware of all David has lost. But what really takes his breath away is that everything about Madison, down to her kisses, is just like Emily. All right, so we're going to try this one. All right, so that is 7 books. 3 more. I need to get some of these other books on the... I know my buddy read, one of them is a nonfiction, so I'll have at least 2 nonfictions. Let's get another, let's see, reread a college favorite. I probably won't read this copy because it was my mom's and it's kind of falling apart, but this is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I know I'm pretty sure I read this in college. It doesn't have a cover on it. But I'm pretty sure I read this in college, but not for a college class. I think that still counts, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to gently put this in there, but I'll probably get a copy from the library or listen to the audiobook of that one. All right. So we've got 2 more from the jar. Let's see. 5 or more words in the title. I haven't been showing these to you, but I'm sure you'll trust me. 5 or more words in the title. So this might be one that I do mid-thought, sorry. This is one that's been on my shelf, and it's kind of a book that you work through. And this is Old Friend from Far Away, The Practice of Writing Memoir by Natalie Goldberg. I like to write. It's kind of cathartic for me. I've never tried to publish anything. I've never actually completed much. So this is through timed associative and meditative exercises, this book guides you to the attentive state of thought in which you recover and often open forgotten doors of memory. It's a beautifully written celebration of memoir form, an innovative course full of practical teaching, and a deeply affecting meditation on consciousness, love, life, and death. So what I may do is plan to do this starting November 1st. That is when Nonfiction November starts, and then probably through, I don't know how long it will take, but probably through the end of the year. I think that kind of works. Let's do it that way. All right, so one more for the road. Do you want blue or pink? Blue or pink? Okay. Oh, this is perfect. It says, oops, backlist. That works because I need to read these. So I have my last two of my 12 and 24 books. I have The Shipping News by Annie Prolix, and I have We Were the Mulvaneys by Joyce Carol Oates. I have a feeling I'm gonna like We Were the Mulvaneys more than The Shipping News. So I think I'm gonna put this one on my TBR of my 10, the 10 that I wanna read this at the end of the year. And I'm gonna try The Shipping News, maybe on audio. Although I do know I can get We Were the Mulvaneys on audio as well. So that's pretty good. We've got a stack of books, ooh, based on my TBR jar. These are the 10 books that I would like to read before the end of the year. Have you read any of these? Ooh, I'll have to restack them. Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments. Do you have any recommendations? Where to start? What do you plan to read? Do you have any, like, how do you do your TBR for the end of the year? I'm not a huge seasonal reader. I don't have a lot of holiday books. I tend to listen to audio holiday books if I'm gonna read audio. So we'll have to see. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to support my channel, please hit the subscribe button, the like, and the notification bell for when I post new videos. And check back to see how I do with these 10 books through the end of the year. Hope you all are doing well, and I will see you very soon. Bye.